Hey everybody, Anak here. I am a health coach and personal trainer, and I am fiercely passionate about helping people reclaim their health so that they can let go of the things that are weighing them down and holding them back. And I want to share a story with you tonight that a lot of people don't know. A couple of people do, but for the most part this isn't something that I've shared in a really long time. And for those of you who might know me, know that I am fiercely independent. I believe I am self-sufficient, and I have a hard time, or I should say I had a hard time asking for help. And that's all changed within the last 9-10 months. So it's been a long time coming, but what has happened is that I have in fact been at war with my own body over the last 15 years. And it's a terrible thing to have happen when you are someone who works with other people around that same issue. And it's almost like do what I say and not what I actually do. So it's been very humbling over the last year to really kind of embrace the fact that I'm not taking great care of myself. And knowing that I'm not doing it, it makes me feel like a little bit of a fraud to my clients. So story I'm going to tell you now is one that goes back to college, give or take. I was dating someone really seriously and thought I was going to marry him, and without getting into all the details, we ended up in a really nasty breakup. And I was insecure, I was unhappy, and I wanted to find a way where I could almost retake control. And that unfortunately came in the form of food. And I remember very clearly, it was just about Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and my family decided to make cheese fondue. And I don't know if anyone knows cheese fondue, Swiss cheese. It is fantastic, and I pretty much self-medicated with cheese fondue, and I gained about 40 pounds in a very, very short amount of time. And I had just graduated from college with a degree in exercise science. So if that's not a little bit ironic, I don't know what is. So I decided, okay, well, I'm out of college now, I'm going to get a job, and I was training to get my certification as a personal trainer. And I'm now carrying these extra 40 pounds on my body and going, oh, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm like, oh no, it's fine. It's fine. I know my stuff. I know what I can do, and I'll just make it happen. So here I am working as a personal trainer in an environment I'm completely not accustomed to, with people that I don't know, that don't know me, and I put up my walls. And I'm basically saying, I'm going to keep you at arm's length, and I'm going to take care of myself, and I can do it myself. And everything was okay for a little bit, and I, got my clients, and I started teaching some fitness classes, and I was having a great time, and I thought I was really, getting my act together. I was thinking I was really knew what I was doing and where I was going. And what happens when you have, big changes in your life, graduating college, nasty breakup, you start kind of reacting in a way where you were hoping maybe you wouldn't. And for me, my reactions have always been in the way of taking on something probably more than I would really want to or probably should. So I decided, okay, well, I had put on this weight, now I'm going to take it off. So I'm going to exercise, and I saw a little bit of success. I'm going to exercise more and more and more and more and more. And kind of like the whole, if a little is good, more must be better. So I started doing all this exercise, almost punishing in a sense, and starting trying to control my food, and then that was fine, and then that wasn't fine, and then do more exercise to kind of fix what I had done with the food. And I started realizing that it was becoming a really dysfunctional relationship with my body, and trying to explain to my clients, you need to take care of yourself, cut down your stress. And it didn't really work, because I found that just more and more as I did that, I was just stuffing my feelings down, and I was stuffing them more and more and more. And it gets to be really difficult to be who you are, be who you want to be, especially as someone who's newly out of college. I wanted to really make my own stamp on the world. So I decided at this point, okay, well, if it's not going to happen just through that, there's must be another way. So I decided to go back to school and become a health coach and study holistic nutrition and wellness. And I did, and I loved it, and I loved the people, and I learned a lot. And I learned that, yes, I was fighting against my own body, and I didn't have to, because I could make my own way with what I wanted to do without having to, eat the foods that maybe didn't agree with me, or maybe, a little bit too much alcohol, or a little bit too much of anything really. So I found a group of people that I really connected with, and I was so excited to be able to make this brand new impact on the world. And what ended up happening is that I just started cycling into this whole, I'm going to eat healthy, I'm going to exercise, and then I'd fall off the wagon. And then I would punish myself, and I'd eat healthy, and I'd exercise, and I'd fall off the wagon. I kept going around and around and around, and it became really difficult, and I decided this time I'm going to start running, because running is going to be a really good thing, a really positive step. And it's not really like running in the sense of running to something. It was, for me, in a way, I was running away from something, but at this point I didn't know I was doing that. So I decided I was going to start running, and I had it in my head that I was going to run with the intention of running the New York City Marathon, because why not? It's there, it's the city I live in and I love, so I'm going to run the marathon. So I signed up to do a 4-miler in Central Park, and it was in February, so it's brutally cold, but it was absolutely gorgeous and beautiful, and I was there with some friends, and the men ran at 8 o'clock, and the women ran at 9 o'clock, because there was just too many people. So I had met some friends I knew from the gym, and I met a friend of theirs I had never seen before. He introduced himself, and they went off and they ran, and they did their 4 miles, and I got ready to do mine. I had some friends, so we got off and we ran our 4 miles, and when I came back, I was talking to my mom, and she said to me, oh, that guy that you met today, that friend of your coworker, he asked if you had run before. And I said, oh yeah, I know she runs, and she had done a triathlon, she'd done all this other stuff. And she said he was a little concerned that you might not be able to finish it because you didn't quite look like a runner. And, hearing those words when you have this idea of, I'm going to run the marathon, it's a little heartbreaking. And it's a little bit of a reality check. And I was like, okay, so I don't look like a runner. What else don't I look like? I don't look like a personal trainer. I don't look like a fitness instructor. And then you start going through this whole mental game with yourself. And you start thinking like, okay, so my confidence, which was here, is now down to here, maybe even lower. And it's a rude awakening. It's a rude awakening when you start realizing that the image that you had been projecting was not really fooling anyone, and you were probably trying to fool yourself more than anybody else. So it was at this time that I started going, okay, I have to do something. So I took a serious look about what I was doing, and I cleaned up my diet, and I realized that there were certain foods that really didn't agree with me, so I let them go. And then I realized there were certain people in my life that weren't really agreeing with me, so I let them go. And habits that I had, and I let those go. And I felt really good about myself, and I felt like I was really making some progress. And I was so happy because now I'm like, okay, well, now I'm not being a hypocrite. Now my clients are going to get it, and they're going to get healthier, and I'm going to be able to get more clients, and the health coaching, the personal training, and my classes are going to explode. And I was so excited about what I could bring to the world that I was still ignoring the biggest thing, and that was the problems that had actually been at the root of everything that was going on, and I wasn't addressing those. And I was just kind of stuffing like happy clouds and flowers and bunnies and everything on top of it, and making everything look all pretty when underneath it was really just a giant mess. And the bottom fell out. And the bottom fell out because I kept pushing myself, because, like I said before, if a little is good, more must be better. And I kept doing more and more and more. And there was 1 year where in the span of 12 months, I had done, I think, 3 marathons. But then before that, I had done another marathon. And then after that, I had done a challenge, which was like a half marathon, a full marathon in 2 days. And my body started to break down. And for me, again, injury was just not acceptable. And I wasn't going to let it slow me down, so I just kept going over and over and over again. I was getting mentally exhausted, and I was waking up early, and I was pushing really hard, and I was working late at night, and I wasn't getting the rest I needed. I wasn't getting the support I needed from, not only from myself, but the people in my life. So I started going, well, if you're not going to support me, forget you. And the walls just kept going up more and more, because I was like, I can do this myself. I don't need you. I need me. And it's hard when I think back at that, how I must have been so miserable that I had to shut everybody else out and try to rely only on myself, because, we all live in this world together, and really no one can live by themselves, because we rely on each other for so many things. I remember hearing something about, just the concept of touch, that we all need to be touched several times a day, because it actually helps to support not only our immune system, but our emotional health. And I was realizing that I was going many, many days without any kind of touch from one human to the next, because I would be, no, I have to keep you at arm's length. And obviously that's, you know, the safer thing. So I said, okay, well, now let me really kind of get this under control. So let me try something where I'm going to be able to take myself into a place where I'm healthier, happier, and I can help more people. So I decided again, okay, what am I doing? What's the problem? What's the root cause? And I decided again, okay, let me try something. Let me try anything. So I tried the Master Cleanse. I tried high protein, low carbohydrate. I tried, you know, anything with ephedra. I tried that one when that was many years ago. More exercise, less exercise, yoga, Pilates, and then I stopped with that. And then I tried a couple other things, and nothing really seemed to work. But I said, you know, I have to figure something out, because there's been this battle going on for so many years. And then I gave up, and I tried again, then I gave up, and I tried again. Again, it's a cycle with me, because at this point I'm still not willing to address the surface, below the surface issues. And my whole thing, I say this to some friends, that, you know, your body is always trying to get your attention. You know, a little bit of tightness here, a little bit, you know, this hurts here. It's trying to get your attention. And the more and more you ignore the small, little baby, you know, pains, your body's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, until all of a sudden you realize that you're like, wow, I really can't do that anymore because it hurts, and I don't know why. It's because you ignored all the beginning signs. And this was something I'd been doing in my life for, at this point, probably close to 10 years. And I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing it to my breaking point, and I didn't see anything wrong with it. And, you know, something was trying to get my attention. I just kept ignoring it, and, you know, going from, you know, one thing to another, and get support, don't get support, like people, don't like people, you know, let them in, don't let them in, you know, walls are up, walls are down. It's kind of this really dangerous pattern, and I just couldn't seem to find a way to break it. And go back to school, you know, learn more about nutrition, learn more about health, learn more about fitness, and, you know, get all the stuff that on the outside looks great, but the inside was doing absolutely nothing for me. And what ended up happening is I lost my confidence, and I lost my clients. And, you know, when you're trying to earn a living, that's two things that are really not good. So I would fake the confidence, and then I'd get a little bit back, and then I would have another setback, and I would, you know, fake it again, fake it till you make it. And that was always the line I heard, and it's really just a load of crap. No offense to anyone who believes that law of attraction, I'm all there, that's fine, but fake until you make it is kind of like a really false, kind of like it's a bad thought. It's really not helpful, because how can you fake something and then try to, you know, attain it, because it wasn't really yours to begin with. But I digress. So I had this battle going on internally, externally. You could see it, you could not see it. I'd gain weight, I'd lose weight, I'd gain weight, I'd lose weight. And, you know, it got to the point where I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with myself anymore. And then I got into a car accident. And I've mentioned this a little bit before in a previous video. And basically what that happened is, and this is the part that I didn't really share very much with people, is that after I got hit by the car, I was in a car, 3 cars behind me, and 1 car in front of me. I had 2 impacts, the 3 cars behind me, and then I ricocheted off them, hit the car in front of me. I thought that was it. I walked away. My car was totaled, but I walked away. But mentally, I had said to myself, if this had been it, could I look back and say that this is the life I wanted to live? And the answer was no. There was no doubt. It wasn't like, well, maybe, yes, no. No, it was a no. I would have been completely angry with myself for having living my life the way I did up to that point. I would not have been satisfied with how I was, who I was, how I was being in the world. The gifts I'd been given had not been shared with other people. And what am I doing with my life if I am not sharing what I have to give with other people? You know, it's awful. I was upset with myself, and I was upset with my body, because now my body's not working. And I work in a very active field, and how can I not have a body that works? I was angry. I was really angry. So I punished myself, and I would eat, and I would try to exercise, and I got to a point where my left arm I couldn't lift it up without it, you know, just giving out on me. And I just kept getting angry because my friends didn't care. They didn't check up on me. They didn't know, because I didn't tell them. I didn't tell anybody I was suffering. I didn't tell my mother. You know, how can you get help when you're not telling people you need help? I didn't tell people I needed help. I spent 12 years not telling people that I needed help. And I needed help. Like, you're going to read my mind? I don't even know what I want sometimes, but I was expecting everyone in my life to read my mind. I was expecting my body to understand what I needed it to do when I couldn't actually know what I wanted it to do. I wanted it to work, but I couldn't let it, I couldn't get it to work. And I ate and I ate and I ate, and at this point I had gotten up to almost my highest weight ever. I was probably like 1 or 2 pounds lighter than my highest weight. And as a fitness professional, as a health coach, you are your product. And I was not a good product. I was not a good advertisement. I was miserable, and I kept trying to go, I can do it, I can do it. I was trying to muscle through it, and I couldn't. And it was heartbreaking. And my confidence just kept tanking, and kept thinking, no one likes me. Maybe they like me a little bit. Yeah, I think they like me, but I'm not really sure. But I don't know if I like myself. I felt like I was wasting my potential. So I kept saying, well, maybe if I get this course will help me. Maybe if I take this training will help me. And I actually did this one training, a coaching training, that really shifted a lot for me. And I'm very grateful to the people I was able to share my time with, because it really woke me up to see what was possible, and what I was doing to sabotage myself, and how I was being in this world, how I could change just by forgiving myself and letting people be who they are, letting me be who I am. They gave me a moment to really kind of come back to all the things I'd been doing in my life up to that moment, and said it's okay, because that's made you who you are, and your lessons, your failures, your successes are now going to help you become the coach that you want to. And this is really why I'm so passionate with what I'm doing, because I've been there. I've gained the weight, I've lost the weight, I've gained the weight, I've lost the weight, I've gained the weight again, and I'm in the process of losing it again. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. And I think people need to understand that, because I work in the industry, I see it all the time. I see the negativity, I see the judgment, I see the looks people give each other, I see the looks people give me, and I'm okay with that now. I'm okay with people looking at me saying, well, it was easy for her, because it's what she does for her living. And I'll give you a clue, it's really hard for me, being a personal trainer, to take care of myself, because I take such good care of other people. I'm up at 4, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't get to bed until, if I'm lucky, 11 o'clock at night. It's relentless, and it doesn't have to be. What it can be is, it could be this really beautiful opportunity for me to let you know this is the way I'm living my life, and let yourself be open to the possibility that something else is out there for you, where you can take a step back from your life and go, okay, what issues am I not dealing with beneath the surface? Because I let mine simmer for 14 years. And I know a lot of people let theirs simmer for double that or triple that, and it doesn't matter how long it's been, because you can let it go, you can let people in. I gave myself an opportunity to accept help from someone who I didn't really know, but part of me knew right here that this was where I needed to be. And I was introduced to a group of people that have supported me beyond anything I've ever expected or believed I deserved. And that has been the biggest gift to me over the last 10 months, 9 months. I don't even know. It's been a crazy ride. And I'm going to tell you right now that there are people out there that care very much about you, very much about your success. And I think that it's time for you to let them in. And if you are so willing, I am happy to be there to support you, because I've been down the road of being miserable and unhappy and not accepting who I was, to being at the point where I can give back. Because we all have these gifts. We all have something that we can give. And I think it's time that we share, because the world needs it. The world needs us. Because it's who we are. It's what we're meant to do. We're not meant to drive in a car, sit at a desk, work a job, turn around, go back home, sit in traffic, and barely interact with your family, because you're so tired and you just don't feel like you can do it anymore. But you can do it, and you will do it. And I think it's time. I think you're ready, because I was ready. I took the chance. I dropped my walls. I'm letting people in, and it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever had. And yeah, I think you can do it. And I know you can do it. And it's time. So if you need support, if you want to get started, just reach out, let me know. I'm happy to talk to anybody, because you are worth so much more than the life that you're letting yourself live. So have a good night, and of course, let me know. Find me here on social media. I'm anywhere. I don't sleep a lot. I'm up early and I'm up late, so anytime, anywhere. Thank you.